Why do you keep doing the very things you hate? You tell yourself you'll stop. You promise this is the last time. You feel conviction, regret, even frustration, and yet you go back to it again and again and again. So what's actually going on? Why can't you stop sinning, even though you don't even enjoy it anymore? The Bible gives a brutally honest answer. In Romans 7:15, Paul says, I do not understand what I do. For what I want to do, I do not do, but what I hate, I do. Think about that. One of the strongest followers of Christ is saying the exact same thing you're feeling. So this isn't just your struggle, this is human nature. Here's the first reason. You're fighting the wrong battle. Most people think sin is just about behavior. Stop doing this. Be more disciplined. Try harder. But sin is not just an action, it's a nature. It's something deeper. In Galatians 5:17, it says, the flesh desires what is contrary to the spirit, and the spirit what is contrary to the flesh. There's a war happening inside you, not outside, inside, and willpower alone is not enough to win that war. The second reason, you're relying on feelings instead of truth. You wait until you feel strong. You wait until you feel motivated. But temptation doesn't wait for that. It comes when you're tired, when you're bored, when you're alone, and in those moments, your feelings will always override your intentions. That's why Jesus didn't fight temptation with emotion. He fought it with truth. When he was tempted, he said, it is written, not I feel strong, not I think I can resist. He used truth, not feelings. The third reason, you're trying to remove sin without replacing it. You can't just stop something, you have to replace it. Because sin often fills a space, a habit, a coping mechanism, a source of comfort. So when you remove it, there's a gap. And if you don't fill that gap with something stronger, you will go back. In Matthew 12:43-45, Jesus talks about a spirit leaving a person and then coming back to find the house empty. Empty. That's the problem, not replaced. The fourth reason, you're stuck in a cycle of guilt. You sin, you feel bad. You pull away from God, you isolate, and then you fall again. Because guilt doesn't bring you closer to God. It pushes you away, and when you're far from God, you're weaker. In Romans 8:1 it says, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. No condemnation. That means the answer isn't to run away after you fail. It's to come back immediately. The fifth reason, you're underestimating how powerful habits are. Sin isn't always a one-time decision. It becomes a pattern, a loop. Your brain gets used to it, your body expects it, and over time, it feels automatic. That's why change doesn't happen instantly. It requires consistency, new patterns, new responses. But here's the truth most people don't realize. The fact that you hate your sin is actually a sign of something good. Before, you didn't care. Before, it didn't bother you. Now it does. Why? Because something inside you has changed. That's conviction. That's awareness. That's God working in you. So what do? You stop trying to win this alone. You stop relying only on willpower. You start renewing your mind. You start replacing habits. You start responding with truth. And most importantly, you stop running away when you fail. You run back every time, immediately, no delay. Because the goal isn't perfection overnight, it's transformation over time. And the fact that you're struggling, the fact that you're aware, the fact that you don't even like it anymore, that means you're not stuck. You're in the process, even if it doesn't feel like it. So don't let failure convince you that you're not changing. Because the real sign of change is that you no longer feel comfortable staying the same.